eBOM training video, assembly creation. I have a project open and my intention is to create a new assembly on bay 4. It's going to be a new gable wall assembly. So I right click on bay 4 and click open and get the bill of materials for bay 4. Right click below the grid, choose new item master, select assembly type, and give it a description. 9.6 meter by 2.7 meter gable wall. I could add further description later on. I'll leave the status as new so that this is going to be a standard assembly that I can check into the database for use elsewhere. And I'll accept the part number that's being offered to me. Okay, I can fill in the item ref and the unit of measure. And while I think about it, I'll right click and choose properties, and I need to set this up as a phantom. That means that the bill of materials can be blown through so that for reporting purposes I can get a consolidated bill of materials for the bay. Okay. Right, now I need to add both a routing and a bill of materials to this assembly. I'm going to add the routing first, because if I add the routing first I can then reference it when I'm putting the bill of materials together, and that's how we get our material allocation report to work. So right click, open routing. I can refer to my browser now and my opcodes filter to find standard operations and drag and drop them into the routing. We need to FireMate, fit gable walls, weld in gable walls, dry line external walls. Okay, and I'm also going to add on here, because I happen to know that there's components that I need at workstation 4 too. I don't have a specific operation for them. I'll have to fill in the work center myself. Whoops. Center. Get it right in a second. Work center 4 too. Okay, now I haven't set any duration yet. So the duration, this will be 8.5. Narrow down, 1.399. 0.267. And 1.17. Okay, so we've set up a routing for this assembly. And close that. I'll now set up the bill of materials. So I right click, choose open, and get the bill of materials page. And again, from my browser, I know part numbers, so I'm going to use the part number filter feature. From 0 to 100. Well, again, I'll drag the stuff that I want in and then go and set the quantities. one I want. I don't have to type the whole part number, I can just use a little bit of it, you see. 180S, it's that one. Now, I need 4 pieces, 4 different sized pieces of this material, the plasterboard. I can drag it in repeated times, or I can copy and paste. Okay, then we'll set the quantities. We need 2 of those. One of those is right. 10, 10, 3. Oh, bit too quick for the grid. 7 and 2. Now, dimensions. Okay, my first 2 components are they're components, so they don't have a length or width dimension. Now, when I drag and drop material in, the materials, if we right click and choose properties, I'll show you this item master is a 1D, a length item master, length material, and we've got an extra fields on here compared with the component. So this is where we set the length of the whole length. So this comes in basically it comes in 3050 millimeter lengths, and I've set a saw width for the optimization routine. But actually, this particular component I want to use, I only want 2700. Now, 2700 is correct for the next component. This piece here, likewise, this is sheet material. Properties, you can see how it's defined the length and a width. And for most of it, accepting the defaults, but this component will be 1500. And these 2 pieces are 200 wide. This piece is in fact the full sheet, 1200. This piece here though is 578 mil. Okay. So that's my bill of materials components. Now I need to set the reference to the operation the individual components are used on, and this is how we get then the material allocation port. This creates a relationship between the component and and an operation on the routing for the assembly. And first 2 bits are required. Fit gable walls stage of the routing, and then dry line external walls. And then the plasterboard is required, as this is at the workstation 4.2, and that's why I added the non-specific operation without a duration. That's as much as I know at the moment. And that's how I build my bill of materials for an assembly. Close that. Now, if I want to make that assembly available to everyone else as a standard product, in the project menu, choose Add Items, select it, click OK. That's then added to the database. If I press F5, you'll see the icon refresh, shows locked now. And if I look for my A and D part numbers, you can see that's my new gable wall assembly. End of demo.